The EU has issued a warning to all 450 million citizens. Stockpile food, water, and Bitcoin. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are, whenever you are. Thank you for watching my videos. My name is Da Vinci Jeremy. I'm in the Pipe 5x5 here in Dubai. Man, when I woke up to this news, I kind of didn't believe it was real. I thought, no, really? Because, I don't know if you noticed in the pandemic, but just in case you missed it, they kind of prepared you for it, right? The lockdowns and all that kind of stuff, they prepared you for it. They let you know, hey, stuff might happen. And whether you listen to it or not was, totally up to you, right? Of course, right? You can, ignore the information that's provided or use it, right? It's 100% your choice, right? And so I'm just saying, if they're doing the same thing now, right, you might want to listen, right? You might want to have, it doesn't hurt you to have some insurance. Let's just assume nothing's going to happen, right? Let's assume that. In fact, let's hope for that. Because you know what? I have health insurance, and I'm not hoping. Not like saying that, hey, I want to get sick. No. Well, I have car insurance because I want to get in a crash. No. I don't want that. Right? It sucks that I got to pay for it. But should there be an accident, should I get sick, it would be nice to have, the insurance cover it all, right? And I'll be okay. The same rules apply here. Yeah, there's no guarantee that anything is going to happen, right? This could be, honestly, it is prudent to just be ready for stuff, right? In general, because, earthquakes, fires, and all that kind of stuff do happen, right? There are emergency situations and stuff like that. And so, it's all good. But with 14 computers and printing money, magic money, and nobody going to jail, and probably those computers are not turned off, you might want to, buy some Bitcoin along with that preparedness. Just saying. Kind of makes sense to me, right? Because it's the one asset that you can't, print more of, right? And you're like, well, what if everything's gone and blown up? Well, you got bigger problems than the fact that you don't have any Bitcoin, okay? Well, I could just have food. Okay, there always a sliding scale to disasters. There's, hey, there's no one left and no infrastructure left, to we have computers still, and it's just a really bad disaster. Like, for example, I don't know, the dollar stops working, right? But everything's still functioning. Yeah, that's another scale, right? You could have a small war, right? That where not all the cities are destroyed, right? And the network infrastructure is still there. So somewhere between nothing happening and absolute global catastrophe, right? The global catastrophe where you can't do anything, not even gold is going to help you, right? Well, having a bunch of food isn't helping you either, right? Because long term, you better have a different kind of plan for that absolute tail risk problem at the very, very end of the spectrum. So instead of planning for the very, very end of the spectrum, which is an asteroid hitting a planet, I would plan for something a little bit in the middle. That's all. Right? So, and that's where, our infrastructure is still here, and we can use our Bitcoins, and we can use, gold and silver. And that's okay, right? I think you plan for the most likely scenario, not the outliers, right? Because honestly, Bitcoin could go to zero, but I wouldn't want to bet on it. All right, with that said, right, we're going to be going on to some trading, and we're going to be trading at actually Bybit.davincij15.com or levex.davincij15.com. Links in the description. And if you join me, you could actually, if you sign up with my link here, right, you can actually join me with this video and watch me live, do this video live and ask me questions. So sign up and, hit the bell icon. I think there's a way to get on here and hit a bell icon so they can notify you that I've done a video or posted something, and away you go. Okay, I'm also trading at weex.davinci15.com. I'm not logged in right now, but we will look at that later. Okay. As I was saying, right, chances are Bitcoin is going to pump right back up here. We've retested the lows here. There's a chance that we could break out of here, right? We could, right? But most likely we're probably going to break back down, most likely, but there's no guarantees of that situation. So make sure that you do have your stop loss set. And I moved it from all the way up here to all the way down here, because I think that this thing could only just hit the 38.2 and break down, because we're in that range. Looking at Solana again, it came to the entry point like bastard, right? So if you had left your entry point open and you are filled, great. There's still a good chance that we could head up all the way up to the 150-ish area from here. Looking at Ethereum, again, it's this short. I mean, come on. I really I didn't have that much confidence in this short, but Ethereum was like, okay, dude, you're just dead. And so, and you got this Emin pattern here. You're just like sad all around, right? Which you shouldn't be, but you are. And so that's what it is. We have to go with what the charts say, right? Okay. So that is. And so this is where our short is still cooking, and it's unfortunate, but that's the way it is, man. Way the ball bounces, man. Way the ball bounces. So we have to trade with the charts and not with how we feel or how we think the market should go. I really don't think that the market should be going down on Ethereum, but it is. It's the disaster of all disasters on Ethereum, and it is what it is. Well, anyways, I hope you guys are prepared. Don't go into a complete panic. Make sure you take your time, do your research, figure out what you want to do. I would say you should spend, instead of I would suggest my friends, right, who finally understood what was going on. They were in a panic mode, and I said, listen, calm down. Nothing's going to happen right away. What you should do is every month spend only 2 hours planning to have some sort of emergency situation set up. Now, with this coming a little bit closer, maybe we should move it to every week, maybe 4 hours on once a week. Okay, let me just think about what I need to do in order to prepare for any kind of disaster that may occur. And if you do it that way, right, I think you will see that you can stay calm. You can actually get the right things you need, and you focus on doing the right movers, basically choosing something in between, not all the way to oh my God, we're all going to die, to more okay, here's where we'll most likely end up in the scale of nothing happened to absolute catastrophe, asteroid hitting the planet disaster. So somewhere in between there. there's likely where we're going to end up. All right. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's episode and learned something, and we'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace.